The Redmi Note 7 was one of the most popular devices in the past couple of months, but it might be time for that phone to move over because Xiaomi has done it again. They've given us another value-packed device below 13,000 pesos. I don't know how they keep on doing it, but they did it again. Hey Unbox fam, welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. My name is Jamie, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro, which is, spoiler alert, fantastic. Now the price tag for this device is 11,490 pesos, and just like Xiaomi's other offerings, you're getting your value for money and maybe even more with this one because of 3 major upgrades, which is the focus of this video. Now before we get to that, just a quick reminder guys, there is a giveaway running for the Huawei Watch GT. All you have to do is click on the link down below and follow instructions. While you're at it, why don't you sub to the channel and hit that notification bell if you haven't already, because it is part of the mechanics. With that out of the way, let's get to the unboxing. So here you have it guys, everything that comes inside the box of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro. You have the documents. Show of hands in the comment section if you actually read these. You have a black jelly case, nothing special, but I would get something a little sturdier if you're anything like me who drops their phone occasionally. You have the Redmi Note 8 Pro itself, and ours came in a variant called Mineral Gray. Aside from that, you have the USB-C cable plus the wall charger, which is, I believe, the 18-watt variety. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's it for the unboxing of this device. Oh wait, there's also a SIM ejector tool. Now usually when you get to the next device in a smartphone series, the upgrades can be a bit minor. Now that's not the case with the Redmi Note 8 Pro. As I mentioned at the top of this video, there are 3 major upgrades starting with its processing package. Now the last time I had a Redmi Note device in my hands, it was running on a Qualcomm chipset, but this time they've gone MediaTek, which might turn some of you off, but hear me out. It's the new MediaTek Helio G90T processor, which is supposed to give you flagship level gaming performance, and after playing a couple of games of NBA 2K20 in the highest settings, I'm gonna have to agree, but we'll give you a more comprehensive breakdown of its gaming capabilities in a separate review. Before I forget, the unit that we have with us has 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, which is again priced at 11,490, but you can get the device with more room for apps and media at 128GB of storage at 12,990 pesos. Now that's just one of the big upgrades, if not the biggest upgrade to the Redmi Note 8 Pro, but let me know what you guys think about them using a MediaTek chipset for this device. Another change to the Redmi Note 8 Pro is the display. Now it doesn't sound special at first glance or when you first hear about it, since you're only getting an IPS LCD panel. It measures in at 6.53 inches, has full HD plus resolution, but this is the first time I've ever heard of a display at this price point that supports HDR. Now it's a little hard to find content that supports this, but at least YouTube videos still look great with color reproduction that's to be expected from this type of panel, so I'm still down for a YouTube binger or maybe a few episodes of my favorite Netflix show. Aside from that, the bezels on the side aren't bad at all. They're quite thin actually, and the chin is very minimal too. Of course, you do have the notch to house that selfie camera, but it isn't too bad. Now that I have a natural segue, let's talk about the last major upgrade to the Redmi Note 8 Pro, its rear cameras. So we've been used to seeing phones with 48 megapixel main cameras, but this is the first time I'm holding a device that has a 64 megapixel main camera. It's backed by a Samsung ISOCELL Bright GW1 sensor and has an aperture of f1.9 or f1.89 if you really want to be specific. I'm eager to see what it can do, so we're all gonna have to wait for the sample photos because I haven't taken any. Anyway, you have a total of 4 cameras on this device, so to go along with the main camera, you have an 8 megapixel wide angle shooter, a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and a camera that's just for macro shots, which is really becoming a trend lately. The selfie camera I mentioned before is at 20 megapixels at an aperture of f2.0, and once again, I'm going to have to ask you to wait for sample photos, but I will be posting a few on the website soon, so you can check it out there. So there you have it, the 3 major upgrades of the Redmi Note 8 Pro. As a recap, you have the Helio G90T processor, which they say gives you a flagship level gaming experience. You have the 6.53-inch display that supports HDR, which is pretty much unheard of a phone at this price point. And lastly, of course, that major megapixel count on the phone's main camera. And I think it's only fair that I talk about the rest of the specs to round out the device. The design of the Redmi Note 8 Pro isn't spectacularly flashy like we've been seeing with other phones out in the market, but the build quality is spectacular. Both the front and the back of this device are made out of Corning Gorilla Glass 5, so it gives you that premium feel but can stand up to everyday wear and tear, plus those accidental drops too. Now, just to give you guys a quick tour of the phone's port and button layout, you have the volume rocker and the power button on the right side of the phone. The SIM tray on the left, which is a hybrid SIM tray, so it's either going to be a second number or more room for apps. You have the microphone on top with an IR blaster as well in case you're missing your TV remote, I guess. And on the bottom is the speaker grill, another microphone, the USB-C port, and the headphone jack. Providing juice to the Redmi Note 8 Pro is a 4,500 mAh battery that should last at least a day and a half with moderate use, but again, this is the first time I'm encountering the Helio G90T processor, so I'm hoping its efficiency is on par, if not better than devices that we've used in the past. Aside from that, you're getting Android Pie out of the box with MIUI 10. So I think that's pretty much it for the general specs of the Redmi Note 8 Pro. I'm going to be putting my main SIM card in this device after shooting this video to see what it can really do, but as of right now, things are looking up. Again guys, the starting price for the Redmi Note 8 Pro starts at 11,490 pesos, but if you can extend your budget by 1,500 or 12,990, you can get the variant with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, which is the variant that I highly suggest you get. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for dropping by and spending a couple of minutes with me. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, sub to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. For any questions, leave them down below and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. For all the latest tech news and gadget reviews, head to unbox.ph, plus follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Jamie, peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.